that the UK does have a very motivated sector that wants people to move towards becoming sustainable, right? So, right. So let's talk about the current situation. So there is a worldwide pandemic going on, which has induced lockdowns all over the country, all over the globe, in fact. And I think what's happened in India as well as other countries is that a lot of small businesses are going under. They're shutting down. Do you think that in that scenario, it's going to be easy for small businesses to turn into green businesses as such? Do you think that now the cost of going sustainable is going to be higher and it's going to prevent small businesses from going green for the coming few years?
I think it's $1 million question, isn't it,
Right.
Saloni? I honestly don't know the answer to that. And I think it would be wrong for me to say, oh, yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's going to become more green because it's going to become more pertinent. I don't know. I don't know. I think, and this is one of the reasons why we put out all those barriers and we set out the white paper, because small businesses have an awful lot more to contend with than bigger businesses,
Absolutely.
because their profit margins, although their profit margins are the same, so they could have 20-30% profit margins, that if you're a small business, that can be in the region of 10 to 20,000 pounds, which means that actually that is running the business for a month. And therefore, if they lose one or two key clients, then their business isn't going to exist anymore. If you're a bigger business on 20 to 30%, it's the scale. And therefore, a bigger business can actually last longer on if one or two companies don't renew them or don't work with them, because they've got so many more. And so it becomes quite hard. And I, I mean, obviously, businesses that are more sustainable are better equipped for the future. They're much more future fit, and they are ready for a society that can run on run in the future. What we have seen during COVID is, and I can obviously only talk really for the UK and Europe on this, is organisations like B Corps, of which we are one of them, have coped and are coping a lot better than other organisations. So purpose-driven businesses have managed to weather the storm better.
Right.
Whether that's because we are able to adapt quicker, or whether it's down to literally people are still willing to work with purpose-driven businesses and they will focus in on those type of businesses to work with. I don't know the answer to that. So all you can do is look at what research has been shown and what is going on. And throughout the last 10 years, more sustainable businesses and more purpose-driven businesses are flourishing than others. Unilever brought out a report a few years ago now saying that of half of their companies that are purpose-driven and more sustainable, they are growing twice as fast as their other half of their businesses.
Wow.
Therefore, they're putting a lot of time and money into pushing the half that aren't purpose-driven and sustainable to become purpose-driven and sustainable, because they see the financial remunerations of running an organization like that.
Right.
I kind of think that says it really, doesn't it? So I can't answer your question because I can't see into the future, but you can look at the past and look at what's happened and kind of say, yes, I think coming out of COVID-19, yes, you should be looking at your business to be more sustainable and purpose-driven.
Right. One final question for you, Will. What do you think is in the future? As in, what do you think the future holds for responsible consumerism and businesses?
I think we're going to be looking at what we buy and when we buy it, I think we'll be looking at where people go on holiday and how often. I think people will start to think about what they're buying. I mean, I live in a fairly affluent or a very affluent country in the world, so therefore that consumerism is rife within society.
Right.
And I think that what we've seen over the last few months is people have not been able to go to shops, they're not buying as much, but then they're actually finding that their income is sufficient to be able to live. Whereas in the past, they were buying, and they were buying stuff they probably didn't need, and their income wasn't matched. They were buying more than their income, which is ridiculous because their income was way, way, way enough.
Right.
And now they're seeing, oh, actually, we can live with less income, just buying less. And it means that people will think about what it is they're going to buy. And I think we'll start to see more buying of, if you want to get a phone, you'll be buying more refurbished phones and phones that have gone through the cycle. So therefore, someone's bought it new, goes back into the cycle, they put in new parts, a new screen or whatever, and then it goes back into it. So you're not buying a new phone, you're buying a refurbished phone or a second-hand phone. And I think we'll start to see that much more in the electronics industry, because I think that we've got to be thinking about our precious metals and what's going on there. I think that people will actually start to think about their purchasing and start to think about what it is that they want out of life and what makes them happy. They're spending more time with their families. That's possibly a good thing because people will want to spend more time with people rather than trying to mask um, unhappiness by purchasing ridiculous and useless um, pieces of whatever.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Will, for being on call with us. Thank you to our viewers and to our listeners for tuning in. Please stay tuned for more. This has been Rural Handmade Conversations. Thank you and bye bye.
Thanks, thank you. It's been a pleasure to have to be on. Thank you so much.